Baron Corbin doesn't like the special treatment Logan Paul gets in WWE, but it's a double-edged sword. Baron Corbin has openly expressed his frustration with the special treatment Logan Paul receives in WWE, describing it as a double-edged sword. Corbin believes that Paul's sporadic appearances and quick ascent within the company diminish the hard work and dedication of full-time wrestlers who have spent years building their careers. He feels that this preferential treatment creates an unfair dynamic, where part-timers like Paul can gain significant opportunities without putting in the same level of consistent effort as regular performers. This sentiment is echoed by other WWE talent, including Seth Rollins, who has criticized Paul for what he perceives as a lack of genuine commitment to the industry. Rollins suggests that Paul is more focused on personal gain and leveraging his mainstream fame, rather than truly contributing to the wrestling community or its development. On the other hand, some figures within WWE, like Chris Jericho, defend Logan Paul's involvement. Jericho argues that Paul's mainstream appeal is valuable for WWE, helping to attract a broader audience and increase the company's visibility. He views Paul's participation as stunt casting, a strategy to bring in new fans and attention, which ultimately benefits the business. The debate over Logan Paul's role in WWE highlights the ongoing tensions between traditional wrestling values and the evolving entertainment strategies WWE has embraced in recent years. While some feel that his presence is an unwarranted distraction, others believe it serves as a valuable tool for expanding WWE's reach and visibility. Belgian John Cena Kid reacts to being called out on WWE RAW. During the March 17th, 2025 episode of WWE RAW in Brussels, Belgium, a young fan dressed in John Cena's merchandise was singled out by Cena during his heel promo. In the promo, Cena referred to the audience's relationship with him as toxic and pointed directly at the child, calling him out as an example of this toxic connection. Despite being the subject of Cena's public jest, the child, who quickly became a viral sensation, expressed that he remains a devoted Cena fan. In a recent interview, he shared that being acknowledged by Cena was a source of pride for him, even though he hadn't expected to be the focus of such a remark. He understood that Cena's behavior was part of his character as a heel, and emphasized that John Cena will always be his hero. The incident sparked widespread discussion online, with many fans expressing empathy for the young fan's positive outlook on the situation. The moment has been widely shared on social media, with many admiring the child's ability to take the moment in stride. The exchange also contributed to the ongoing conversation about Cena's recent heel turn and its impact on fans, especially those who have long supported him. Goldberg shares his thoughts on his son, Gage potentially becoming a wrestler. WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg has shared his thoughts on his son Gage, potentially pursuing a career in professional wrestling, expressing strong support for the idea. During a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Goldberg stated that he would fully support Gage's decision to enter the wrestling world, as long as his son demonstrates a deep commitment to the sport. Goldberg stressed the importance of hard work, dedication, and a relentless work ethic, noting that true success in wrestling goes beyond just wanting to be a part of it. It requires a full investment of effort and time. Gage Goldberg, currently playing as an inside linebacker for the University of Colorado football team, has previously indicated that if football doesn't work out, he might turn to wrestling as an alternative career. Gage also revealed that Triple H, WWE's chief content officer, has offered him an open invitation for a tryout, signaling a potential pathway to a future in the wrestling business should he choose to pursue it. Goldberg's public endorsement of his son's potential wrestling career emphasizes his fatherly support, with a clear understanding that such a decision should only come from genuine passion and commitment to the craft. This possibility of a second-generation wrestler adds an intriguing narrative to the wrestling industry, especially given Gage's earlier involvement in WWE storylines, including a memorable altercation during Goldberg's feud with Bobby Lashley. As Gage continues to navigate his athletic journey, the idea of him stepping into the wrestling ring remains a compelling topic for both fans and industry insiders. Many are watching closely to see if the younger Goldberg will eventually follow in his father's footsteps or chart his own path in professional wrestling. Ric Flair Act, introduced by North Carolina lawmakers, linked to potential Wrestling Hall of Fame. North Carolina lawmakers have introduced the Ric Flair Act, a bipartisan bill aimed at exploring the possibility of establishing a professional wrestling Hall of Fame museum in the state. The bill, filed in the North Carolina Senate on March 24, 2025, seeks to allocate $500,000 to the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to conduct a comprehensive study on the feasibility of such a project. The findings from this study are expected to be presented to state legislators by the summer of 2026, determining whether the initiative will move forward. The bill's official title, An Act to Remember Iconic Combatants Through Fostering Learning Awareness and Interest in Wrestling, cleverly forms the acronym Ric Flair, serving as a tribute to one of professional wrestling's most legendary figures. Ric Flair, affectionately known as Nature Boy, has had an illustrious 50-year career in the industry, winning multiple world championships and becoming one of wrestling's most recognizable personalities. His deep-rooted connection to North Carolina, particularly Charlotte, where he resided for many years, makes the state a fitting location for a museum honoring wrestling's legacy. The bill is sponsored by Senators Jay Chowdhury, Danny Britt, and Ralph Heiss, who are championing the recognition of professional wrestling as an integral part of North Carolina's cultural heritage. Senator Chowdhury highlighted the sport's impact, emphasizing that alongside college basketball and NASCAR, wrestling has played a significant role in shaping the state's entertainment and sports landscape. He also noted that professional wrestling has yet to receive the recognition it deserves in the state, despite its long-standing influence and passionate fan base. If the study yields favorable results, the proposed Hall of Fame Museum could become a major attraction, drawing wrestling fans from across the country. The museum would serve as a tribute to the icons of the industry, preserving their legacies while educating visitors on the sport's evolution and its impact on North Carolina. With a history that includes countless wrestling events, legendary wrestlers, and a thriving wrestling culture, the state is well positioned to house such an institution. Beyond celebrating wrestling's past, the Hall of Fame could also serve as an interactive and educational destination, featuring exhibits on the history of the sport, memorabilia from famous matches, and immersive experiences that allow visitors to step into the world of professional wrestling. It could also provide a space for live events, guest appearances by wrestling legends, and community engagement programs that highlight the significance of wrestling in popular culture. The introduction of the Ric Flair Act reflects the growing recognition of professional wrestling's impact and the desire to preserve its legacy in a meaningful way. Whether the initiative moves forward will depend on the results of the feasibility study, but the proposal has already generated excitement among wrestling fans and industry veterans who see it as a long overdue tribute to a sport that has captivated audiences for generations. Jeff Hardy reacts to CM Punk's remarks about his desire for a retirement match. Jeff Hardy recently clarified his remarks about the possibility of a retirement match with CM Punk, emphasizing that his comments were made in jest. The conversation surrounding a potential final showdown between the two wrestling legends reignited after Hardy casually suggested in an interview that it would be special to face Punk in a match where he could maybe make CM Punk retire and then go into the Hall of Fame. This playful statement was a clear reference to their heated rivalry from 2009, where Punk's victory over Hardy ultimately led to Hardy's exit from WWE at the time. Their feud was one of the most memorable storylines of the late 2000s, with Punk's straight-edge persona clashing against Hardy's rebellious and high-flying style, creating an intense, personal feud that captivated fans. Punk, known for his blunt and sarcastic nature, responded to Hardy's comments with skepticism, downplaying the likelihood of such a match ever happening. He humorously compared the scenario to his own desire to fly, implying that both were equally improbable. Hardy, upon hearing Punk's reaction, doubled down on the lighthearted nature of his original statement. He acknowledged that fans often bring up their past storyline, given how iconic their rivalry was, but he never genuinely expected to step into the ring with Punk again for a final bout. With his signature humor, Hardy responded to Punk's analogy by quipping, "I'd like to fly, but that's not going to happen," reinforcing that while the idea was entertaining, it wasn't something he saw as realistic. This exchange between Punk and Hardy highlights the lasting impact of their rivalry and the deep connection it forged with fans. Despite their vastly different personalities and career paths, Both men have built legacies that continue to be discussed years after their prime feud. The mere suggestion of a final match between them stirred nostalgia and excitement among longtime wrestling fans, even if both wrestlers ultimately dismissed the possibility. While a retirement match between the two remains unlikely, their past encounters continue to stand as a defining chapter in WWE history, and their mutual respect remains evident despite their playful banter.